And I'm wearing a wire. So.
This episode of Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Phil Perich, and you are listening to Capes and the Lunatics Sidekicks Podcast.
Yeah, whatever. Ben Reilly, Spider-Man's clone. He's a sweatshirt. Yeah, that's how you know he's different, and he's a blonde hair.
Yes, that's right. That lovely new intro means it's another last Tuesday of the month. It's a Scarlet Spider episode. Welcome back to the Ultimate Spider Cast. I am Phil. So, of course, it's Scarlet Spider joining me. Well, that fine young man you just heard is...
It's just Matt. I'm here. Matt Kona from Quincy.
And that Quantum Crusader from Australia.
How you going? It's Ray. Back again for more Ben Reilly. Excited stuff.
I just call you the Quantum Crusader because you're wearing that Quantum Zone t-shirt.
What about our Quasar
Yeah.
podcast, the Quantum Zone?
Oh, hey, Will.
Yeah.
Good morning.
And look, I just want a big thank you as well to Matt and the Quantum Zone. Fantastic little surprise I got in on the front doorstep. So yeah, wearing it very proudly. It's my first podcast T-shirt. So it's I feel there are plenty more to come.
I hope so.
Good side.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah. Good, great fit. I just got to get my quantum bands and I'm set.
Okay. So I was gonna say, if it doesn't fit, we could always send you some pin particles.
I could sprinkle some
yeah.
particles on it to make it bigger. Yeah. It'll be a
course.
3X in moments.
Oh,
Excellent.
jeez. All right. Since it's early for some of us and it's late for others.
Daylight savings time is you don't have that in Australia, right? You just do you have it?
No,
Oh, you
we do.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Different time though. And can I just say, anyone that is watching the video of this, it's priceless watching these two guys. These guys are rubbing their eyes. They're kind of slapping their faces. It's very early morning for them, and an hour lost as well. So yeah.
I got my Infinity Gauntlet mug with me.
Nice.
Would have been more. I just got it. It would have been more appropriate to debut in the Quantum Zones as we're in the middle of the Infinity War. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I just love any other time you would have had some kind of pun, but now you're just like, yeah, but anyway, yeah, yeah, whatever. Ben Reilly. I love the white hoodie, but yeah. Anyway, we're here.
Yes, there's Spider-Man on here somewhere. It's one of those.
Yeah, I think I saw him.
Oh right.
Yeah, he's up on the head somewhere.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Along with Iron Man and the others.
Yes. I'm just keeping my hair at bay. It's probably very unruly for such an hour. So I'll spare you.
That's why I got the hat on as well.
Yeah.
But yes, we're here to talk Spider-Man: The Lost Years 1 through 3 from August, September, and October 1995. But no, before you jumped on, Matt, Ray was saying in the latest issue of Action Comics, Romita drew that issue. John Romita Jr. drew that one, and it's like his art's way different there than it is here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Some years difference. I don't know.
Yeah.
And like Ray was saying, digital techniques now and stuff. I don't know if that makes a difference.
I think so. Definitely. I mean, like this is the pencils for sure. I mean, just the structure of it and what's available. But I like the art that we explored in this issue and in Zero, which we're coming off of.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Both very good. I mean, I reckon just to further that point as well, Phil, I reckon you can cut corners with digital stuff. And I guess the temptation is there to do that, if you're a colorist or inker, whereas there's really nowhere to hide if you're doing it old school style, you know what I mean? I mean, you can. There's still very bad inkers back in the day as well, but, I guess you're more inclined to actually ink properly.
Oh, there's some issues coming up in the Clone Saga that the inking. Oh my lord, that just the inking almost seems to overpower the art, and it's
Yeah.
Did your mug snap? Like
no, yeah. Half my coffee was gone. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Phil, you froze there just for a bit. Yeah,
I know.
No.
All right.
Half your coffee was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, technical difficulties, but we're back. But no, yeah, there are some issues there. Can you hear me?
Yep,
I could hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, no, there's issues in the Clone Saga where, yeah, it's Bill Sienkiewicz too, right? That he seems to overpower.
Oh, right.
Art, yeah.
Ooh.
The Clone and Penciling Saga.
Yeah. But yeah, these issues come later. It's back at the time when they quote unquote revealed that Ben Reilly was the original Peter Parker.
It kind of shows that in the way that there's a surety about these Lost Years issues about where JMD Mateus wants to take it. Whereas, reading the other issues of the Clone Saga, it kind of has, you have that sense that they're kind of feeling their way through. In our previous episode, talking about how things were retconned and redone because I guess they weren't expecting it to be that popular. Lost Years seems like a pretty solid and well thought out mini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For what I've read, it's when they were talking about making Ben Reilly the original Peter Parker, they're like, oh yeah, we'll do this the Lost Years every so often, show what the real Peter Parker was up to back in the day. But then once they decided to turn that decision around, they were just like, no, can't do that. So yeah, it did not become like the regular thing they thought it was going to.
It's still good. I like it. It's got a really gritty kind of feel to it, and it reminded me of almost like Daredevil's The Man Without Fear, and maybe like some Max series. It's really cool to see. I know it's not Peter Parker, but you see Ben Reilly, who literally is kind of Peter Parker, in this real street level fight with the gangs, like with Tannen and these corrupt cops and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really dug it. It was quite violent as well. So, and there's no Sinister Six, or there's no Venom. There's no kind of over the top villains. It's all just very street level.
Yeah, it's very 90s like noir too. Just lost souls, guys struggling with their identity, and in the hero and the villains are kind of in similar situations like that. And I kind of like the parallel storytelling, kind of bouncing back and forth in the way that it all culminates, I guess.
Well, we get the introduction also of Kane, which is pretty damn cool as well. I forgot about him for a little while until he showed with his long hair. By the way, also Ben Reilly's mullet, absolute brilliance. But Kane, yeah. So there's so many like moving parts to this arc as well. you've got the mob, the syndicate that's pretty badass. You have the two cops, and one of them happens to be corrupt as well. You've got Kane in the mix. So there's a lot happening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just messing with this here. Okay, I think we're back. Sorry, just technical issues.
Awesome.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, just the whole Salt Lake thing. Yeah, it's very interesting. Very I think it's interesting that like Ben Riley, like the quote unquote costume he's wearing in this mini series, almost looks like the what Matt Murdock was wearing in what is that? Daredevil: The Man Without Fear.
Yeah.
Also
yeah,
drawn
yeah.
by Ramita. So I wonder if
Yeah,
kind of like designed this suit.
I reckon so. Maybe I can't remember. Do you know when The Man Without Fear came out? Was it before this?
It was
Before
in the
this, right?
90s. Let me see.
Yeah,
Because
because I definitely reckon one or the other informed the other for sure. Because I mean, bandages. He just needed to cover his eyes, and he was pretty much Daredevil.
I know. Here we go. Oh, it was 1993 for Daredevil: Man Without Fear. So
Okay. So I reckon this one heavily was influenced by it.
I know.
Yeah, 93, 94, 95 era comic books I sort of kind of lumped together too. So they're sort of they got the same sort of vibe. And also this was around the time that Image Comics was coming out, which is certainly a lot more gritty and I kind of felt like Marvel at first didn't really take them seriously as a competition, although some of their top artists went over there. They sort of began to influence Marvel's vibe too. You know, like they wanted well, these are books that are selling that are certainly darker, so you know we could go there and sort of keep it in the Marvel brand sort of way. And
Yeah, I just had a look up there as well, Matt. You mentioned about Image, absolutely, but also the big kahuna at this time was Sin City, right? Frank Miller, 91, 92, around that era as well. So that kind of laid the way and influenced, I think, a lot of gritty noir street style kind of stories. So this is around the same time.
Yeah. Shadowy, powerful mob figures getting involved.
Yeah, I mean it gets pretty extreme, like with Tannen planning, number one, to abduct the detective, but two, to kill his wife and child, like by blowing up the house. It's pretty dark.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So this issue starts off with a car accident, right? Or a continuation of the car accident.
No, a different car accident, but a nice difference here being and the immediate difference being with that bus is that Ben Reilly decides straight away to save, to jump into action. So and it's kind of nice and reassuring to know because he's got all those spider powers. So he's doing 20 feet jumps and stuff and lugging people out of the way. So I think it was a good way to kickstart this issue one.
Yeah, so he saves a mother and her daughter, and doesn't stick around for credit. He's not the kind of man who wants to be thanked. She remarks to the officer. Yeah, and then you sort of get into the inner thoughts or the commentary. He's been on his bike for nearly 30 hours straight, and then traveling the world from San Francisco to Singapore to Bombay, which I know it was the 90s, but I'm pretty sure you needed a passport back then. I don't know how a clone got a passport, but
true.
Unrealistic comic book. No,
I know what's going on. And just at the beginning here as well, I've got to remark the rain and the art here. I mean, I love this downpour. It just adds to that kind of the noir feel or the heavy feel.
Yeah, it just seems
Absolutely.
like half these Romita 90s stories. It's like it's raining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know,
It's raining clones.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's awake.
Yeah, and a lot harder. Just getting back to the artwork, a lot harder to
Mm.
draw rain, and there's a lot of it for the
Absolutely.
first few pages. Culminating with the big motorcycle splash page for the
Yeah.
title screen on page 6 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's and that's what I was kind of talking about with the line work and the ink. You look at that. You look at Action Comics 1020. It's like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's just so weird because, like in Marvel, like most, especially at this time, most of the superheroes are like centered around New York. So like here, Salt Lake, it's like the West Coast. So it's like people don't even think like superhero. It's just like, who was that guy? I don't know. He was a hero.
Yeah. Salt Lake City, Utah. I think I looked it up. I was like, this must be one of the only comic books set in Utah that I can remember. And so I just did a rudimentary Googling, and I think the only other one that I found was a comic book adaptation of the movie SLC Punk from 1998. So, which means Salt Lake City, based on the Matthew Lillard movie. And yeah.
Oh.
Also, I got kind of Logan vibes from Kane. Like if they had Uber back then.
Oh, yeah.
That's the kind of place that he would be. He's hanging out in this bar or diner.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Nice intro to him, and he meets up with what's her name? Is it Louise?
Louise Kennedy. Yeah.
Louise. Yeah, meets up with one of the detectives. So that kind of escalates with them together. Kind of like she likes her bad boys.
And you could tell she's kind of like I don't want to say evil, but she's kind of she's on the dark side because she's smoking.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't pick that up. I mean, I just thought like she was like a hard-nosed detective as well, and so I was genuinely shocked when she kind of, I guess, turns a bit more towards the end.
Oh yeah, you don't see it right away.
Yeah, and you're sort of caught in between. You're like, oh, she's a detective, so she could be working both sides. She could be undercover or something, but it's we'll get to it, but not quite the case. I mean, she is playing both sides, but what side is her preference to remain on? I guess.
Yeah, and her actions toward the end are pretty. It's pretty clear cut that she's not the, she's just willing to go to one side. So yeah, just say we'll kind of get to that. We have also. Sorry.
No. Sorry. Go ahead. I was just talking about the scumbag guy trying to take her out of the bar, Jimmy, with the
Jimmy the mouth.
Jimmy the mouth. He's got the sweater and the chains and the white suit coat. And he gets a little handsy with her, and she kind of gives him a nice shot to the gut, which makes all the people in the bar laugh at the blatant disrespect, which she's very angry about.
It's got a nice monobrow as well.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just Ben Reilly and Kane, just the synchronicity of them meeting these women at the same time, and.
Yeah.
Both have stuff going on. Well,
and kind of being at the
they're short-haired women. He's a big long-haired rock star types. I mean, Kane's his haircut is out of control. It's going below the waist.
Each panel it gets longer. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's suffering clone degeneration. What's your excuse, Matt?
Well, hey, I would think it would get shorter with degeneration. Looks like he's got it.
You would think, but it's weird. It's like as he degenerates, like his whole body, which I'm assuming now means his hair, just is getting bigger.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Follicles getting ripped. Yeah.
I just love Ben Reilly and meeting this woman. Janine, or
Janine.
yeah, we find out
Yeah.
the real name's Elizabeth, but yeah, Janine. Of course, redhead.
Yes. Yeah. Pick that up. The guides were favourable on Ben Riley, and they made the parallels between him and Peter Parker. So
Yeah.
but again, as well, that's intertwined with the detectives.
Detective Raven, the guy who comes into the bar and sort of makes him wonder what's going on, feel threatened, and Janine, it seems on the surface cordial with him, but then we find out that she's a little nervous. It's like sort of plants a seed for later.
Yeah, because she seems all nervous when the cop comes in, and Ben Riley's like, "Wait, what's going on?" It's Jacob.
Yeah.
Jacob Raven seems like a nice guy, but is he bothering her? Or?
Yeah, her demeanor changed. I wrote in my notes that the waitress is jovial, even a merry Janine. I don't know. I was trying to make a Mary Jane reference. I got up at 6 a.m. last week to do this when we weren't recording, and I vigorously typed out these notes. So, real dumb.
But yeah, no. Oh, please. I think there's a panel with Ben and Janine in issue 2, and even somebody at Marvel, when they were looking for a picture of Peter and Mary Jane, accidentally used that picture.
Whoa.
Yeah. So yeah, it's people are like, "Oh, look, it's Peter Parker and the redhead." Yeah, it must be Mary Jane.
Yeah. That's great. It's kind of rewriting history, or
I forget where they used it, if it was a book or another issue, but yeah, they were looking for a old picture of Peter, Mary Jane, and they used one of the panels from issue 2.
Ben and Janine.
Ben and Janine.
Nice.
Was that like a Springsteen song?
Little story about Ben and Janine. No, that's John Mellencamp. Two American kids with false identities just running around Utah.
So many people hiding in this issue. Ben, Kane, even Louise is hiding stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the prison guards are on the take. Cops are corrupt. What's going on? So much. Universities are being deceived.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get it, but it just seems almost weird because it's Kane gets Louise in the bed by the end of this first issue. It just seems like it's almost like, oh, you have a darkness within you. I have a darkness too,
Yeah.
Like high school kids. They're like, oh, why don't we date?
I know. Yeah. It seemed a bit weird the way they were talking to each other like that. Yeah. It was a bit. It was a bit on the nose.
I'm dying. Oh, evil.
Yeah. I also love that the mob. It's really the Tannen gang, So I got a little shades of Back to the Future 2.
I know.
Vincent, not Biff.
Yeah. I know. I heard. Yeah. When I read, I think the first time I read this, and even now, I was just like Tannen. I was like, wait a minute. What the hell is that?
McFly. Yeah.
And I'm just like, I guess the mob's everywhere, but I'm just like, you always read about the mob in New York and stuff, and even, we have movies about the mob in Boston, but it's Salt Lake City.
Right. I remember reading a news story about I don't know if it was necessarily the mob, but about a cocaine deal going on in Amish country in Pennsylvania. And I was like, is there a mob influence there? Are there a mob-esque type of thing going on? It's
always the quiet ones. You've got to watch out for them.
Mac Kona, did you ever hear the joke? What is this? Clip clop, bang bang.
An Amish drive by.
Yeah.
The muskets getting fired.
Bang.
Hang on. I'm reading.
Yeah, don't go more than 10 feet away, otherwise it won't work.
I mean, that would be, not to encourage any of our Amish listeners to turn to a life of crime, but kind of hard to tap their phones if they're not using them. So
Yeah.
the feds are looking for you.
Oh no, they'll give Weird Al any ideas. Amish gangsters paradise.
Yeah, classic.
But no, I love like issue 2. It's like when the mob kidnaps Jacob Raven and Ben Riley, just again he's got that Daredevil-esque costume on and
Yeah. It opens up with another nice action scene.
pushing the car over.
Yeah. So it's a lot better because you don't see that with the likes of Daredevil. So you've got this kind of gritty street level guy, but he's doing fantastic things. But yeah, I like that scene actually. And then there's a bit more of obviously Tannen showing his influence in the jail with the that warden.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the warden? Wait.
Who that guard is? The prison guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, the prison guard who doesn't seem happy to be passing on the message and the info to him, but does it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, as far as base. I mean, it seems like Tannen's basically, not feeling too pressured in prison,
Nah, he's loving it in there, ruling the roost.
Yeah.
But I mean, just looking at this panel after the whole Ben Riley fight, like Kane on the roof. I mean, the Clone Saga is just littered with like people standing in the shadows all the time, like watching other people.
Yeah.
I mean, to get a count, but it's probably like in the hundreds, like how many times someone writes in an issue, and so standing in the shadows watching Spider-Man and Riley.
Yeah.
Voyeur's delight.
Yeah.
But actually, Kane looks really. I like the way Kane's drawn as well. He's just so, and later on when he starts to degenerate even more, he becomes so like inhuman, and like this unstoppable force.
Mm-hmm. Ben Riley and his teaching assistant job.
Yeah.
Giving the whole lecture about, scientists believe under certain laboratory conditions to be possible to create life. It's like basically giving the whole clone Does he travel the country just giving like clone lectures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The advocate for the clone.
My PhD in cloning.
Clonology.
That's right. Oh yeah, that's the panel where someone mistakenly used that at Marvel one time for Peter and Mary Jane.
Oh right, yeah. Well, you can't blame them. They look like even she looks full on Mary Jane.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to look like Peter, but yeah. So that little thing, their little romance is blossoming, and I didn't pick it up first time towards the end, but there was that moment when she bumps into, I think it was in the first issue, she bumps into Detective Raven, and she looks a little scared, and I just passed that off and forgot about it, and then of course later on we see, she has a whole like bigger role to play, ties everything together. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like that there's seeds planted numerous occasions throughout this series that pay off. I feel like most of them pay off.
Yeah, I think so. Everything's addressed. I think it's a nice tight series. Maybe you could argue is probably a little too tight. How convenient that everyone that we come across. Well, maybe that's just the way it's written. That everyone has got something against someone. You know what I mean? Like I thought Janine, that was a bit of a stretch, but by having that little seed at the beginning, and kind of then, you can't deny her role.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's all got meaning. I like it. Yeah.
And then there's the Then there's a big. Is that the big fight? Yeah, with Ben Riley and Kane, right?
At the end, yeah, too, yeah.
Oh, at the end. Sorry, yeah, no. Oh, yeah. I'm still looking at. No, it's just Ben Riley tearing up Tannen's mob so far.
Yeah, I love the whole car chase sequence at the beginning.
Yeah,
And he tips over the car and throws it, and these rough mob guys are just shook. You know, they're like, "What? We lost the detective. How is this possible?" You know. Yeah.
I mean,
And then off into the night.
Yes. It's always like, I'm not real. I'm not a man. I should be a hero, but it's
Yeah.
He just goes on, tears up the mob every 2 seconds, and then, and then Janine seems to, their date was going good, but then she kind of like sent him home. He's like, "What did I deserve happiness? I'm a clone."
Yeah.
Yeah, all those typical relationship problems you have when you're a clone. It's
Meanwhile, Riley blew off his date so he could go save Raven. So they're, one love life is going one way.
Yeah. And Kane and Louise, they're having a bit of nookie, but then something you kind of see him kind of, I guess, change or.
Well, I think it's the clone degeneration.
Degeneration, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
the burning.
Yeah,
Yeesh.
I like that. And then later, like the mark of Cain as well. I love that kind of that use.
Yes, yeah, because of the clone degeneration. Yeah, I love the mark of Cain. It's like it's like the wall crawling ability, just the clone degeneration like twists it, so you can actually burn people with it.
Yeah.
Pretty
cool.
I thought an interesting storytelling device in this was that that Raven's wife just kind of dies off screen. You almost think that she's going to be okay after being saved, but yeah. So that's kind of like a pretty dark thing. I mean, I know we don't see it on the page, but you just kind of I don't know. I felt like drawn into this issue. I've never been through something like that, but it sort of made things like real serious. Like, all right, you got this detective who he might be out for vengeance. You have the reluctant hero, the villain that's kind of losing it both physically and mentally, the corrupt cops, gangsters, rainy highways. Anything can happen in Utah at this point. But I just remember being pretty gripped going through this and flipping through it.
It's funny you mentioned the wife because I'm trying to look now. It's just because I don't think even in the hospital they really show the wife. The only time they really show the wife, which you barely see her, is just like Ben Riley pulling Jacob Raven's wife and son like out of the fire.
Yeah, in the first issue. Yeah.
That's like the only time you actually physically see the wife. Every other time it's just like referenced. It's like, oh yeah, she's in the hospital. Oh yeah, she died. And yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why I figured she'd live, because you see her getting pulled out.
Yeah.
Like, he saves the day, but it's like even heroes can't do everything. That sometimes it's not enough.
Yeah, that's right. It's a good point because, I wanted to mention that as well. You kind of expect that, even that the fact that they've both made it to hospital, like you expect, they'll be okay. They're in good hands. But yeah, she just dies and you never really see her. But you see the little son. I don't know his name.
That was a Matthew.
Matthew. Yeah, Matthew. Yeah. Just you see him getting kind of accosted whilst he's recovering, and that's quite a bit of a shocking scene as well because you don't know what's going to happen.
I was waiting for Ray to be like, Matthew. What kind of name is Matthew?
See, you remember that in comics, when your name doesn't come up too much. Yeah. I mean, Matt Murdock. Okay. Yeah.
Matt Murdock,
yeah.
But then
the dad not wanting to go in to see him. That kind of led to some intrigue to it. You're like, oh, what's going on? Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just took it as like Jacob Raymond didn't want to go and see his son because it's like, if you do go in, then you're not going to want to leave, and he still has
Oh, okay.
work to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then issue 2, we get the confirmation that Louise Kennedy is, a dirty cop.
Yeah.
Mm. Yes. Yeah. Amongst that was a pretty cool fight. Like the massive.
When
Yeah.
King beats Ben like half to death. Yeah.
Oh, he's just going crazy. Cray.
Loco.
But I take it he's no stronger or more powerful than Ben Riley. He probably just took him by surprise. Yeah, it was just a bit of a shock factor.
I'm trying to remember if again it's like clone degeneration. If he might be a little stronger because he's bigger, but it's like he's dying, but he's getting stronger. It's like
okay, because he certainly looks stronger.
Yeah,
I mean, like he's
bigger. Yeah,
the way he's drawn, and maybe just the ferocity of his attack is just kind of taken Riley by surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, arguably, wounded animal is more dangerous. So he's got nothing to lose. So he can come at you from any angle, and you don't know
exactly
what to expect.
All the hair made him angry.
Yeah, that throws off your spider sense. You see the hair coming, but the left or the right are coming from different places. Yeah.
And then the whole thing is weird because it's like it looks like Vincent Tannen shows up, but it's not Vincent. It's like, what is it, the nephew or something?
That's right. His brother, isn't it? Or his nephew, is it? Or
is it the mouth? Is that the guy's name?
Or, no, that's Jimmy the mouth. Yeah. Nah, he's.
Oh yeah, that's right, Jimmy. Yeah, that's right. No, not Jimmy, but yeah. You see, we're meeting more members of the gang or the cartel.
But yeah, Vincent has like a twin, and then he shows up with Jacob Blake's son Matthew.
Yeah, that was
which thankfully, like, he's still alive because that last panel, I thought that whoever was going to snap his neck or something. It just quite a shocking thing. So it was good to see that he's still alive.
But it's so weird. Like Kane beats Ben, he leaves, and then like he comes back when he sees Louise Kennedy in there with Tannen's mom. Like, you betrayed me.
Yeah,
that sets him off even more. Again, like his face is just like that. I love that splash on issue 3. Just really looking like these days. I mean, just jumping ahead, currently, right, present day. Ben Riley's got like a bit of a mark on his face from the Peter David run.
Yes.
Yeah. So things have kind of chopped and changed. And I believe Kane doesn't. I think
it was,
or he still does.
I'm trying to remember.
I mean,
I think he has his face is kind of messed up now too. I mean, it was weird because like, during Spider Island they kind of cured him, but then like he's going back and forth in his series too. Because yes, Kane was Scarlet Spider for a while.
Yeah, that's right.
In Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
Wow, they're getting to all these cities that have felt pushed over by the New York and LA contingent. Yeah.
But I mean, it's so funny because Kane's so strong here. Like Ben Riley's trying to hit him with like packing crates and stuff, and he's not going down. I don't know if it's the clone degeneration hits again, and he just like crumples to the floor.
Yeah, he's in a lot of pain.
But then every Louise kind of takes off, but Ben saves Matthew from Tannen's nephew.
Jimmy the Mouth, right?
Jimmy the Mouth.
He gets smacked in the face. Good old Ben coming back still. The kid must be traumatized by now.
Oh yeah, well he takes Matthew back to his father, and I don't know. Again, I guess it's Salt Lake. This is the Marvel universe. There's, how many different superhumans, but it's like when Ben's hanging in the window, even though he's not wearing the costume, wouldn't you be like, wait, Spider-Man, is that you?
Yeah. Absolutely.
But like I said, it's the Marvel universe. I guess it could be one of 1,000 guys.
Well, these days with all the spider people.
Oh, but then Ben goes to see Janine because she's packing up, getting ready to leave town, but
Yeah, abruptly dumping ghosting era. She's ghost riding him. She's Ghost Rider was big in the 90s.
Yeah.
The term ghosting was not, but yeah. That happens a few times over the course of this 4-issue series, with Janine trying to dump him or getting out of there even when things are seemingly going well.
Yeah. Well,
we're in issue 3 now. I know we're kind of skipping around, but we're sort of the big fight at the end of issue 2.
Yeah. So in issue 3 he meets Janine, but that explains it though. She's always pushing him away because she's got that deep dark secret herself that she doesn't want to,
she's hiding,
labor.
Yeah, and they come back to it. What is it? Spider-Man Redemption. It's like a 4-issue mini towards the end of the Clone Saga. So
yeah, okay.
So we'll probably cover that 2025. But no, it's so funny. I guess she's the only one he has in town, but it's like, they just had their first date and he's like showing up on her doorstep all beat out and almost passing out on her doorstep. Yeah,
must have been one hell of a date though. They're really connected, but she reveals in this as well, like she's a murderer, and her name's Elizabeth Tyne. And then we get in the bar with Louise, another interaction with Louise, and it's not Vincent Tannen, isn't it? Is that the brother? The brother, yeah. Paul Tannen. And then Kane intervenes.
Yeah, Louise is completely horrible. She doesn't want Ben killed in front of Raven's son. Spare the kid for as long as he may live. But yeah.
Because that's the thing. I don't think Vincent Tannen ever gets out of prison in this either. Yeah, it's it's like, how'd you get out of prison? No, it's the evil twin. It's the other evil twin brother.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't last long.
No.
He's mincemeat. And then we see Elizabeth's again, very dark. Without spelling it out, we all kind of know what's happening there. Bit of incest, which is
her father was molesting
with her dad.
She shot him. I mean, again, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe it was she was young or something, but I'm just like, I don't know why she would run. You would think that the cops would let her go. Don't you think it would be like self-defense, basically?
Yeah, it's not always seen like that. There's, even like present day news stories about human trafficking and the person killing like their trafficker and doing long jail term sentences. It seems crazy because,
yeah.
So the dark edge, just keeps getting deeper in different ways in terms of like backstory being introduced too.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
And then, speaking of dark, and then just like Kane and Louise, he's just like, what are you doing? You were my light in the darkness. And she's like, don't you understand? The darkness always wins.
Yeah, I know. She becomes more and more despicable as you and kind of really well drawn here by Remedy Jr. She's got that evil look, from their upper angle into her face.
And I love when Ben and Janine hit the road after he tells a secret and proves it by taking her on a little web slinging jaunt. And she seems to have never heard of Spider-Man. And I know it was pre-internet, but he figured Spider-Man might have made the Associated Press might have picked up a story that went in the Salt Lake Sentinel or whatever newspaper she's reading.
Well, I don't know if maybe she's heard of Spider-Man, but she didn't know the whole story because it's like, okay, you're So I wonder, does he drop the name Peter Parker? Or is he just like, yeah, I'm Spider-Man's, I'm Spider-Man's clone, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
they never really. I don't think.
that's even more to explain. Maybe he just keeps it vague.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or does he just say,
Yeah, whatever. Ben Riley, Spider-Man's clone. He's the guy. Sure. Yeah, this guy's family's different, and he's a blonde hair.
That's my bet.
he does the accent? Yeah.
I'm trying to web sling around. I don't want to explain everything to you. Come on.
Or did he just keep? Or does he just like keep it nice and simple?
I thought they were Boston Pizza owners.
He's trying to
Could well
franchise in the Southwest. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. And Boston Pizza was born.
In Salt Lake City.
Yeah. And you're talking about, Phil, about people just lurking in the shadows and watching. There's another nice shot of Kane again.
Yeah.
Just crouching. Creepy.
Brooding. Yeah.
Even.
What and then what happens here? There's yeah.
Well, Ben and Janine are like planning on leaving town.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
yeah.
they stop locally. That's their first spot. They gotta at least get a couple exits away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before you stop for a coffee at the stomping grounds of people you're trying to avoid.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, quickly becomes a law enforcement situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a bit of a standoff. But the guy's got superpowers. He's not going to have any bar of it.
True.
And I love like Ben's disguise is a pair of sunglasses and his bruised up face.
Yeah.
Because his face is all puffy from getting beaten.
Yeah. But Louise's disguise against Raven it's starting to come apart, pulling the gun on him. And he's a little, the guy's been through a lot, but
yeah.
She's Janine, he sees her every morning going in for coffee. And he's sort of wondering what's going on. But
yeah.
It's building towards the climax. Right?
And then I'm not that familiar with Salt Lake, but they head for the mountains. I'm like, where are they going? Is there?
Oh yeah, a lot of mountains there to climb in the desert.
Are they? Yeah,
painted mountains. Yeah. Salt Lake City. They have a lot of national parks there, and I think it was in Salt Lake City. There's this movie about mountain climbing called Free Solo, which is on the Disney Plus app. It's under the National Geographic section. I watched it. It's crazy. It's about a guy who climbs a mountain without any gear, like no pulley gear.
Oh, wow.
Just a fanny pack with chalk in his hands climbing. That's very stressful. But one mistake and he's gone. Jeez. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
And being filmed while it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, Salt Lake City's got. It's sort of hard to get into the beauty of it in the comic book page because I think this confrontation happens at night, right? But it's a good landscape for it, and one of the advantages of having a unique place like that for the finale of it.
Yeah, no, it was good. It's a nice little tussle at the end. Again, and things. Although this was a bit of a loose ending still, but, it was addressed later on. I think, like Raven still doesn't know about Louise's
not yet,
true intent, but she kind of gets snacked by Kane before anything. Like she's trying to kill Ben Riley. But Kane comes in and
because he's sort of lollygagging behind Detective Raven, and So he misses the real
Oh yes, yeah, he misses
reveal
all,
of her true character. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then plus Kane kills her, gives her the mark of Kane, and takes off. Just in time for Jacob Raven to show up, and Ben and Janine are just standing there.
Yeah, classic. And it sets the table for something later on about, that's alluded to, about Kane's fingerprints being left on her body, because even though she was corrupt, it's still killing a police officer. Not everybody knows about her corruption, so
yeah,
pretty serious business.
But yeah, Louise gets killed. Ben and Janine get away from Jacob Raven, and it ends with them riding off into the sunset. But then it's like you really they don't reveal anything about later on. It's like, oh, Janine left a little bit later, and it's like,
yeah, I like that actually, because it's a little, it's pretty short and sharp, and just says like, although this is a happy ending now, it didn't last long, but I enjoyed it while I did, and it kind of harks of a little bit of reality in that sense. You can't help; they're not going to be together forever. He's going to move on. That's just the nature of his way, and she's got all that stuff to deal with as well. So,
yeah.
But yeah, you see Kane still lamenting over the woman that he killed, and a little with Matthew there and Jacob Raven doing the old-fashioned father-son thing, fishing,
bonding, fishing,
bonding. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
so pretty cool. Yeah.
I always enjoyed it. So yeah, everyone. All right.
Go digging for the lost years.
What days of the moon? No, wait. No, I'd say this is probably. I'd probably give this one an A-. I like I said, I think this is some of Ramita's better art, and this filled in a lot of details of the Clone Saga, and enjoyable story. Even that there's not really superhero costume, but there kind of is.
It's superhero costume on a budget, when you're on the run, you're lying to universities, you haven't gotten your first paycheck yet. You make your costume look like I don't know, like a tax specialist. You got your button-up shirt, just rip something over your face, just start fighting crime in the beautiful Southwest.
Oh, easy stuff to cosplay as well. So cosplayers out there just love it. It's like, guess who I am? Ben Reilly. Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
But I mean, Matt, what would you give it like as a grade?
I'd say B plus, A minus. Kind of started slow, but it really roped you into it, and I liked it.
Yeah.
No, you don't get the classic payoff of the Scarlet Spider costume, which you might.
Oh, that's true.
May or may not be aware of at this point, but that's something that we normally associate in hindsight with the Clone Saga. But
I reckon about the same as well. I reckon a good A minus. I really did enjoy this. This is something that I'll probably read again because it's just I just like how it kind of closes out everything quite well. And there were a lot of things to close out, a lot of characters to juggle. We don't see the Scarlet Spider costume, which is a bit of a disappointment, but at the same token, we get Kane as well. And although, I mean, and knowing Kane and Ben Reilly's relationship, it's fun to see like the origin, like when they first met. So yeah, no, I liked it. All the other characters seemed very well fleshed out, like Louise, Janine, Jacob Raven, all the secondary characters, even the criminals like Tannen. I mean, those scenes in the jailhouse was still pretty cool. Like, you know how they were pretending to bicker and fight, but then under their breath it was like, oh, by the way, so yeah, I enjoyed all of them.
I'll kill you, guard. Did they get to the message?
Exactly. It's so kind of tropey in that sense, but it's still pretty funny. pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's weird. I don't know if they were planning on doing more, but it's like Tannen's like doesn't even get out of prison. You know, well, Vincent Tannen's in prison the whole time. It's just like Soprano.
God,
Yeah, just like you never see Vincent Tannen out of prison. You never see Jacob Raven's wife really, except like her unconscious body getting pulled out of the explosion by Ben Riley.
Yeah, it's good all round.
All right, so is that it on this one?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sirs.
All right. Well, then send us your thoughts. Next episode, Lilith will be back. We'll be talking more alien costume, but in 1 month or a couple minutes, whatever. The next Scarlet Spider will be flashing back to the present of 1994 for Power and Responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
If you
get it, great power, great responsibility.
Yes. If you have the floppies, they have those foil covers. But yes. So send your thoughts on those and all the Spider-Man stuff we're covering. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Follow us on social media. Capesandlunatics.org is back up and running. Find all those links at Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember to support sponsors, Tweaked Audio, Hunt to Killer, Pod Life the book, now in digital and paperback. And go down in the show notes, use the link to Southgate Media Group, send some money to Rob Master Doom Southgate to help you bring you these fine products. And the big there's big stuff coming, so stay tuned. Well, to the whole network, but just stay tuned. All right. Mr. Matt Kona, I know you hate going last, so what do you got going on?
All right, I got very little going on. No, I'm Matt Kona, at Matt Kona, MATTKONA, Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that. I'm doing comedy occasionally. You can see me out there if you live in very specific towns in New England. And yeah, that's about it.
And I'm visiting nursing homes with bad intentions.
Horrible intentions. Oh, if you want a T-shirt like Ray has, and you wear a size medium, hit me up. I got 2 left.
Oh, I saw you send Soshin one too. Yeah,
I did.
Nice.
That's for interested in quantum zone feedback, people.
Turn left. Hey, you
were tuning like that episode, right?
Did you see the envelope he posted? That was the return.
Oh yeah, it was a Vaughn Security. Yeah. All right, Ray from Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast, Last Sons of Krypton podcast, and half the podcast in the world. Where can people find you?
Most likely check us out on Twitter at ITK Moon Knight, or if you're a Superman fan, LSK Podcast. That's for Last Sons of Krypton. On Facebook, facebook.com/ITK Moon Knight or facebook.com/LSK Podcast. Take your pick.
And if your first name is Connor, you're probably one of his co-hosts.
Oh, yeah. They're both they're clones, you see. So.
All right. So thank you for joining us, everyone. So leave Salt Lake, head back to New York. So yes, go read up on your Alien Costume Saga, go read Power and Responsibility, and then 1 month be the Parker vs. Spider-Man. But until then, swing on back.